ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Another movie review.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're about to talk about another Sony Pictures film. So get ready for more blatant product placement.
Yeah, so Charlie's Angels. This is the technically third attempt because they did a TV pilot, and then you had the two McG movies. So this is directed by Elizabeth Banks, who you know from Zack and Mary Make a Porno, 4-Year-Old Virgin, the Spider-Man trilogy. She's done a lot of movies and stuff, and she's gotten to the whole thing of directing movies and producing movies and such. And this is one of those movies that she's full blown directing. Because I think she produced all the Pitch Perfect movies, and this is one of the first movies that she's actually directing. And this is actually, I had no expectations because I watched both of the McG Charlie's Angels movies, and they are 100% a product of early 2000s time.
They are.
Of the extreme, over-the-top, ridiculous stuff. And
As if the sequel wasn't bathing in it with a subtitle called Full Throttle.
Yeah. And it's funny because Drew Barrymore is actually executive producing this movie, and which the wrinkle of this movie is this, not a wrinkle, but it's actually interesting that they made this choice. Instead of it being a reboot, it's actually a continuation of those McG movies and the franchise period from even back in the 1970s. And what they did with this movie is the Charlie's Angels thing kind of expanded into franchising itself, basically.
Yeah, well, they became like a super agency.
Yeah, that's what I said. They franchised itself out to different basically around the world, essentially. And what you're doing is it's actually an interesting kind of idea. I mean, we've seen this to different degrees in other properties too. Wouldn't be surprising if 007 does this at some point. But what they did was they have the Angels around the world, United States branch, European branch, probably like a Tokyo branch and Russian branch, whatever and stuff. And they focus on the three Angels, which is Kristen Stewart plays Sabina, Naomi Scott plays Elena, and Ella Balinski plays Jane. And Elizabeth Banks plays the Bosley, which Bosley is basically...
It's a rank.
It's a rank instead of just one guy named Bosley, which is, again, it's an interesting aspect of it. I actually thought was pretty fine. I didn't have inherently a problem with it. And Patrick Stewart is a Bosley who is retired. Now, the movie, they imply that he was also the Bosley that was in the McG Charlie's Angels, which is funny. But the movie overall is about Naomi Scott's Elena character, who they have this Callisto project, which, as you see in these type of movies, it's capable of providing, power to, kind of like clean energy? So
basically the product that's in this that the film showcases is this is clean energy, or this is an all cybersecurity program, or I'm like, you know what, just insert throwaway current year plot for this particular device. I mean, basically, it's something we've seen before.
Yeah, which, I mean, look, your miles are going to vary on that plot point. It might take you out of it, you might eye roll and stuff. But other times you might be like, whatever, you expect that and stuff. We're not going to spoil the stuff in this movie, but I will say there were, maybe one time where there was some misdirection where you're like, oh, it's clearly this person. It's like, oh, it's not that person. Okay, well, shit, I feel dumb a little, just a tad bit. But.
Yeah, the movie definitely tries to throw you. It throws you a loop several times.
Yeah,
several times to get thrown for a loop. And no, I'm not gonna. And no, it's not in a bad way or anything like that. They're very good surprises.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, really, other than that, I mean, I enjoyed the movie. The movie definitely had me laughing. There was a lot of great jokes.
Patrick Stewart enjoyed himself on this film, clearly.
Patrick Stewart had a lot of fun on the movie.
Oh, yeah. But, the three Angels themselves, I know a lot of people, they feel some sort of way about Kristen Stewart because of the Twilight movies and stuff. I think this is probably one of the more relaxed roles that she's been in. Mm-hmm. Where she's having fun with it, clearly.
And to tell you the truth, I'm not gonna lie. Seeing Kristen Stewart in this movie And because I never watched none, I never watched a single Twilight film.
Yeah.
I understand why people give her a lot of crap, but when I seen her in this movie, she was probably one of the most fun characters that I enjoyed.
Oh yeah, yeah. She definitely plays the kind of like a slacker, carefree agent.
I mean,
And
she's
she has some
wild
funny
and
moments.
rebellious.
Oh yeah,
Like,
she's rebellious, but she has her funny moments. I will say that. So, credit to her. She, at first I was kind of like, oh, Kristen Stewart is in it. I don't know, and it's like, oh,
she's the
actually
star.
well, it's just like, because again, I watched those Twilight movies, so it's just like, really, like, really, and you kind of just sit back, and then now when you watch the movie, it's like, oh, she was actually pretty funny in this movie.
Dude, she was awesome in this movie. I loved her character.
And Ella Balinska playing the, Jane, who is like the polar opposite of Sabina. She was funny in this movie in unknowing ways and stuff. Like, she literally Vulcan that pictures one dude when he's walking out the donut shop, and it's fucking hilarious.
Look, my man had a plan. He bought a box of donuts. He just wanted to sit and chill and enjoy himself. And instead, he's got to take a nap.
Go to sleep. But she's playing like the super serious secret agent that like went through some shit in MI6, and she's trying to learn the value of teamwork, which in these movies you expect that to happen. That's a trope that you see in every movie, whether it's a man and woman in that role. They're learning about teamwork, so to speak, which I'm fine with, and it works for at least for the plot line of this film and stuff. Naomi Scott playing Elena, she's like the tech geek who ends up growing into being the, sustained woman that she can take care of herself kind of
actually she always she pretty much rolled herself into the same type of character that we always see in these triple threat films, especially like a team of 3 people where there's 3 guys or 3 girls. You get the tough guy or girl, you get the level-headed guy or girl, and then you get the nerd. And
like
all 3 of them
initially before Winston jumped in as the fourth guy.
It's pretty much it's Ghostbusters without without the everyman or woman. Yeah. And with this one it's more or less the same, but I did like this take on Charlie's Angels. Again, like you, I told you, go into this movie, don't expect anything. Just no expectations.
Yeah.
I sat and I watched the movie and I said, okay, movie, give it to me. What do you got? Yeah. And I came out of it very, very, very entertained.
I was worried for a hot second because, and this is not me, knocking and stuff. I thought it was going to be very, in your face, girl power, fuck dudes, but it wasn't.
Well, okay. Since it
hits that line where it's you about to hit that line. It's like, okay, woof, woof.
Now,
okay.
CJ, right. CJ, you open up that door, so I'm not gonna kick open the door, but I am gonna crack it open a little bit more. There are parts of this movie where I leaned over to Chris and I said, "Yo, this movie is about to be a little problematic if they keep it up."
You know what? It put this way. To the movie's credit, and maybe that's because Elizabeth Banks wrote the screenplay for this movie. She knows where to hit that line and back off, right?
Yeah.
So I appreciate that, because at first I was sitting back if this was in a lesser writer's hands, they would have went full tilt on fuck dudes. But thankfully they was like, no, we're not gonna make this a dude bashing movie. It's just look, there are assholes guys out here. We can admit that straight up. Right.
And they definitely would have pushed the whole, oh, that's cute. That's cute. You're trying to explain something, but this is man talking time.
Yeah. And I appreciate the movie. They hit that line, but it's no, we're not doing this to bash men. But we can also admit there are guys out here that are assholes towards women. We can wholeheartedly admit that, and I appreciate the movie went in that direction instead of going. And it's not saying that women aren't capable of that. Let's not get the game twisted, but it's I like how they play it up just in a very realistic way and not see, women power. And it's I'm fine with women power, but you don't have to go kick a dude in his nuts in the process. We can still show capable guys and not undercut women being at the front here, which was great. It was cool.
Exactly. In fact, and there was quite a few capable guys in this movie. I'm not going to say who, but when they make their scene of just how capable they are, I had a smile on my face. I'm like,
Thank you.
okay, that was fun.
Yeah, that was great and stuff. And like the action scenes were actually pretty good. I had a worry that they were because some movies like this when they have women fighting. I'm going to use Colombiana as an example. As much as I enjoy that movie, what I kind of hated about the movie is like when they show Zoe Saldana fighting, like especially at the end of that movie when she's fighting the main bad guy. There was like a crazy amount of jump cuts
There
in that
was.
fight scene. Like straight up, but it's like, can I actually see Zoe fighting him? Like, and to Charlie's Angels' credits, they don't do that. They actually, like, granted, you could tell, hey, that's a stunt woman, and maybe it is the real actresses. I don't know, but like, you actually see them fighting, and it's like, okay, that's cool, that's dope. I can actually see them fighting, and it's like, all right, cool, I believe it. You don't inherently feel like, oh, it's a little fake, and it's not as like wire jumpy as the McG movies were.
Dude, don't even get me started on the wire jump. It's one thing to have a whole bunch of wire jumps, and it's another for them to add the extreme close-up fights.
Yeah.
And the post-production shaky cam.
Yeah, there's no shaky cam in this movie. Like when they see the chicks fighting there, you actually see them. They actually back up the camera a bit. You see them fighting, and you could take it as what it is, if whether that's their stunt double or not. But at least you see the fighting,
Right.
straight up. They definitely much like it kind of reminded me of Civil War, where it's like they jump to different locations, except minus the location. Like, oh, we're here, we're there. It's like, no, we're going to this place, we're going to that place. They definitely do travel to different places over the course of this film and stuff. Which again, they do a good job of kind of like throwing out like, oh, they clearly went to this place and they have to prep for this, So, I don't know. It's like I said, I had no expectations going to this movie. It was just like, well, hopefully it's better than the McG movies. That's probably the most that you got out of me. And I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah. This is a fun movie. Go check it out.
Yeah, definitely. Visually, it was good. Okay, so I think they did use CGI in this movie, but I don't know.
No, there
where.
was. There was.
I mean, outside the explosions, obviously, but I mean.
From the explosions, and I will say there's one scene in particular that I can imagine they used, if not CG, some kind of like VFX.
Yeah.
And a lot of visual effects, and I think that was in the quarry scene.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you had to have them in the quarry and stuff. There's a lot of.
Oh, dude, and dude, come on, the gadgetry that they had.
The gadgetry was actually pretty good. I actually thought it was actually pretty interesting. They have like decoms or like tattoos on their like necks and stuff, which again, I wouldn't be shocked if that's a real life application.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of cameos in this movie.
Oh, quite a bit.
Quite a bit. Ronda Rousey's in this, which I was like, oh, of course Ronda Rousey's in this. Oh, Danica Patrick. Okay, cool.
Did you shout outs to Michael Strahan?
Bruh, I was like, yo, what is Michael Strahan doing in this movie?
I'm like, Michael Strahan shows up. Great.
Yeah, the other two Charlie's Angels from the original show are in this, and I was a little disappointed. No Farrah Fawcett.
Both of us were quite disappointed. We were sitting through we sat through the movie.
I was like, what?
No picture, no monument, no statue or nothing to me. I mean, come on, it's Farrah Fawcett.
Not even a like credits like for Farrah Fawcett. I mean, it's
granted,
not a game. It's not a game make or break thing, but it's just like, that would have been nice.
I mean, look, I get it. She's been gone for almost 10 years, but still, come on, you could have gave us something. At least, and I'm kind of faulting Sony for this because at least you did it with the 2016 Ghostbusters. You had the statue bust of Harold Ramis. It was a blink and you miss it, but it was there.
Yeah. Speaking of Sony, I think Sue nudged me multiple times. Like, yeah, you see all those Sony product placements. Like, yeah, the earbuds and
the earbuds, the headphones, the camera. The laptop.
I mean, I know it's obligated, but it's like, damn, like, you just got thrown in our face, which, by the way, that's like, those earbuds were not necessarily a thrilling advertisement for those earbuds, because I ain't getting them shits.
and the other problem with it is, Oh yeah, and the phones. Good God, was everything, all the product placement for, that had Sony's name on it. It is expensive. I
Yeah.
mean, the camera alone. When I saw that camera, I was like, "Ooh, the AC." I mean, the AC. I was like, the A7 III.
Are you
Yep,
talking about the?
that's
Hold up, was that the one where she had her cell phone attached to that, or was that just the lens for that phone?
no, that was just the lens for the
Okay,
phone.
okay.
But no, what I was talking about was, I think it was Elizabeth Banks. When you see her walk through, she walked in the scene holding a Sony camera, and it was a legit DSLR. Like as soon as I saw that mirrorless camera, I was like, oh, A7 III, done. Like
Yeah.
whatever. I'm like, whatever A7 III model it is, it doesn't matter. She is walking around with at least anywhere between $2,000 to $3,000 in her hand.
Mm-hmm. I mean, let's be real. If that's anything to get somebody interested in the movie and interested in buying your product, fuck it, might as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, it worked because half the time I'm like I'm sitting there, like I was sitting there watching the movie, and every time I'm seeing the product show up, I'm like, can I reach it? Can I reach for my phone, check my bank account real quick, see if I want to go on Amazon and order one of these things? I'm like,
yeah.
no, I'm not doing it. I'm like,
But I
I already
mean,
own, like, look, Sony, I already own a good chunk of stuff from you. Stop trying to make me spend more money.
yeah. I mean, you know what's crazy is like for a movie that's like in the I think it's like in the $50 million budget range. It actually worked out well for it and stuff. They did. It doesn't feel like they overstretched themselves over and stuff, and it worked out ultimately. Like I said, it's an enjoyable movie. It's definitely one of those, like, I'm not gonna say. See, I feel like I don't want to feel like an asshole saying you shouldn't watch it. Go watch it. It's enjoyable. You're not.
Oh,
Put this way, you're not gonna. Put this way, you won't regret spending your money seeing it. I'll say that much. You won't
yeah.
regret it. You'll definitely enjoy it. It's shockingly good. If anything.
In fact, I
So.
dare you to walk through this movie and not laugh.
Oh yeah, you'll laugh. Like I said, Patrick Stewart has some moments where it's like, oh, that's hilarious, easily. And I even say Kristen Stewart has some moments where it's funny, easily. So. Yeah, like I said, congrats to Elizabeth Banks, man. She definitely did a really good job with this film. It's definitely enjoyable, top to bottom and stuff. And I think this is what you had to do with the franchise, because I remember watching the McG movies, and like, I don't know, it's like McG is clearly he's a music video director. So like you could tell in those movies he had a very much a visual, like, movie, like, music video director style to him. Especially when I mentioned that whole thing with the wire fu thing. It was just like, did you? Because I went back and watched like that fight between the three angels and the Slender Man dude.
Yeah.
And it felt weird because it was so wire fu for no fucking reason.
It was.
And I remember everybody hyping up like, oh, it's their best fight. And I was like, is it though? Like, I don't know. Because like Kristen Stewart and Homegirl fighting the assassin in this movie was like a lot better than that one that McG did. Like, it was actually really good.
I mean, that assassin was putting down hands.
Oh, dude, he was delivering hands like 24/7. And like I said, I can appreciate the movie when it came to the villains. They made them believable and didn't dumb them down. It was enough to where it's like they're a threat, but we're not going to make them uber, like, ha ha ha, I'm invincible. It's like, no. They can be beaten. It's just they're just able to outmaneuver the angels to different degrees. So it was cool. I'm cool with that. I'm fine with any bad guy as long as you're not dumbing him down to end your movie kind of thing. So it worked out. But like I said, I like the concept of what they're doing in this movie of like the angels being kind of a worldwide network type of thing. I think that's actually a really good way to kind of like, if they want to expand the franchise out to another movie, they could, and you could follow a different set of women if you want to.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like I said, I'll definitely recommend this movie. Definitely see it if you want to. Go check it out. You won't regret it. Got any final thoughts?
Okay, so we saw, after seeing Terminator, Doctor Sleep, this movie does it again of introducing a female character, and having them get to a point where they say, you know what? I don't want to just sit on the sidelines and just do X, Y, Z while everybody else does all the work. Put me in the game, coach. We get another one. This is my third time seeing another character, give me a put me in the game coach performance.
But this is more funny because the movie has a self-recognition of that moment, which
It
is
does.
great.
And again, I'm not angry at it. But I am going to call out the hypocrisy that will follow these three movies. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's funny because I know, like, because I think my worry, cause I remember seeing the trailer and I was like, I don't know, it's like, okay. Like, I understand we're in a moment where, hey, should be at the forefront, especially for Charlie's Angel franchise. It should be the women at the forefront, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think my worry was that they were been emphasizing too much of, like, men are dumb and women are better. And I think I like the fact, and I mean, I think that's probably why I appreciate this movie is that there was a bit of nuance to it, where it's like, no, look, these women are capable, but we're not going to dumb down the guys for the sake of, like, you know.
Now, if you want to talk about them trying to dumb down the guys, if they did, you want to know a prime example of them dumbing down the guys? If they made the guys act like Rambo's niece and Rambo Last Blood.
Bruh.
If they had that motivation, I would have walked out of this movie.
Man. And I mean, again, in a situation like that, there's always going to be one dude that's a dumbass. And I like that the character that plays the dumbass is like, yeah, I've seen those guys in corporate world. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
And again, at least make him entertaining.
Yeah.
So with all that in mind, please go see Charlie's Angels.
Oh, yeah, definitely go see it. I mean, I know people are kind of like down on Sony because of Spider-Man. Fuck that. Just this is
nope.
Like I said, Sony is always look. Sony came out with the Equalizer movies, and I love both of those fucking movies. So it's like, hey, they're capable when they back the fuck off and let these people do their movies. They can make a great movie, and like this is one of those movies where it's like, oh, this is really good. This is really good.
I also want to send a shout outs to Brian Tyler for the music. Definitely had that Fast and Furious vibe.
That music was fucking on point.
The soundtrack, which by the way, the soundtrack's on Spotify. CJ, you're welcome.
I need to go there.
And also shout outs to Bill Pope, the cinematographer for this movie. Did a very good job shooting. A lot of really good scenes. A lot of really good shots. I love the establishing shots of Berlin and pretty much all throughout Europe. This movie was shot out there.
My man has done so many. Let's take a look at his cinematography background. This man did Darkman, which I love Darkman. Did Addams Family.
Mm-hmm.
Blank Check, Army of Darkness. Clueless.
Gridlock.
Both Matrix sequels, Spider-Man 2, which a lot of people definitively like that. Two, like I said, I like Spider-Man 2. The cinematography in that movie is great.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
It was good.
Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, great movie. Mm-hmm. Underrated as shit. Baby Driver, which is an underrated fucking movie. And he did Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah.
That's a well-shot movie.
And he's working on Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
So you already know that cinematography is going to be ridiculous, especially for the fighting scenes. You already know what the deal is. So, yeah, shout out to him, man. He everything top to bottom is enjoyable about this film. I think folks will definitely enjoy it. And shout out to Digimon Hansu for getting that check, because that dude is in everything apparently now.
Yep.
I saw him. I was like, "Oh, it's Digimon Hansu. Cool. That is dope." He is basically he's been in Captain Marvel this year, Shazam, and then Charlie's Angel.
Just seeing Digimon show up in the movie, I just said, "Well, seems that's
franchise
okay."
Guy.
Not even franchise guy. I just seeing him in the movie, I said, all right, Digimon, obviously you were one payment behind on that vineyard that you own, so...
I mean,
all right.
He's like, like late last year, he was in Aquaman, and then boom, he turns around, he's in Captain Marvel. I'm like, dude, get your checkup, man. Get your checkup. I mean...
It's like, get your money, man. Get your money.
And he's going to be in that Kingsman prequel.
Man,
get your money up, Digimon. Get your
What action movie are you not going to show up in, sir?
At this point, I'm looking at him like, so Digimon, which Marvel movie are you going to be in again? Just FYI, I really would like to know. Oh man, but yeah, Charlie's Angels, definitely go watch it. Shout out to Elizabeth Banks. She did a really great job with this film. Like she had a lot of hands on this film because I believe she did directing, producing, and screenplay for this film.
Yeah,
So,
she did, and she starred in the movie.
yeah, so that's she's a quadruple threat, so to speak. So definitely go see it. And there's a lot of movies this week. You know, Waves, this movie. You know, Ford vs Ferrari. There's a lot of Oscar contenders here. A lot of yeah.
Yeah, the fight's real. The fight is
Fight
real.
is real. Fight is definitely real. Like I said, Ford vs Ferrari and Waves are going to be the Oscar contenders this week easily. You can see that. So, but yeah, definitely go see Charlie's Angels. You'll have fun with the movie easily. You know, shout out to Ella Balinski. That's the new crush for me already. Just putting it out there.
There you go.
There you go. But anyways, yeah, we'll catch you guys later.
Deuces.